Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes have accepted The Rock's challenge for WrestleMania. Let's get right into it.
Wait! I can't believe it! Yes! Yes! The Rock is going to WrestleMania! Randy in position for another curb stop. Oh, my God! Unbelievable counter! Oh, my God! Unbelievable!
What's going on, guys? It's Rich within this very ring. We are brought to you by our friends at Allen Z Travel. Allen Z Travel specializes in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts, including yours truly, create a custom vacation for you without any of the stress. Allen Z on over to allenz-travel.com/take the trip to get in touch with myself or any of the other talented travel agents. We thank them for sponsoring this Smackdown recap. Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, they've accepted The Rock's WrestleMania challenge. Both main events for WrestleMania are set. It was just seconds ago in an incredible promo. And I don't normally like when a show ends with a promo. It doesn't always hit that really hard final note to send you off, to talk about next week. But this one hit every box. Starting out with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Roman Reigns coming out with the Bloodline and The Rock's new entrance. Oh my God. This new entrance was incredible. They did a far out shot. It cut to Rock's music hits, and then the lights go out and the lightning strikes, and then it's all lightning. Oh, it was electric, pun intended. But it was clean. It was awesome. Social media blew up immediately about it. The clip is all over the place already. It's an incredible entrance. I hope they stick with this even after this whole Bloodline thing and everything like that's going on. It really does separate this Rock from, when he was wrestling back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I think that was really needed because we have a different Rock now. Not just the fact that he's older and wiser and doesn't wrestle as much, but he's now also an authority figure, and he sits on the mountaintop of everything that he does. And I think having that separates him from the older stuff that he was doing. All night long on Smackdown, they've been showing this extra security outside Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes' locker room. Well, when Nick Aldis went to go check and went to go get them to bring them to the ring, they weren't there. They were in the crowd. Not in the crowd, but they were coming out through the crowd. Cody's music hits. I was a little upset we didn't get Seth's. They played Cody's because they went to commercial break. They played Cody's the whole time, which is fine. I love the song. But it was a little weird having Seth come down without his music to Cody's music. Seth really does, until tonight, and really until probably the last 5 minutes of the show, really felt like a supporting character throughout all of this. But now Seth's invested, and we'll talk about that in just a few moments. And by this point, the Bloodline's out of the ring. When they come back from commercial, Bloodline's out of the ring, and security is surrounding the ring. Cody and Seth get in the ring, and you can feel it. You can feel the tense atmosphere. And Dallas is rocking because they're up in the American Airlines Arena, and they are just rocking. They've been rocking from the start of the show with the Logan Paul segment, which I'll touch on towards the end, all the way up until this part right here. And Cody says, I'm real lucky to be standing in this ring. Let's take a moment and just take it all in. And it from there, let's see. He puts over The Rock's challenge. He talks about it, and he goes, well, Rock, I heard your challenge. I understand the stipulation, this, that, and the other thing. And then he goes, but do you have the authority to make that decision? Since last week, you acknowledged Roman, which was awesome. And the crowd was eating this up. And at which point The Rock cuts him off. He talks a little bit longer because he's about to give his answer. At which point The Rock cuts him off and he goes, you shut up, this, that, and the other thing. Puts over the stipulations again. And so if you're not paying attention, okay, if Cody and Seth win, There's no bloodline on night 2. They will stay out of Cody's match. They will stay out of Seth's match. Nobody will interfere. Cody will have a fair opportunity to finish the story. And The Rock says, when Roman and The Rock win, bloodline rules on night 2, anything goes. Cody, you're not going to finish your story. And Seth, you're going to lose your title. A diarrhea chant starts because they had that diarrhea Dwayne thing from Monday Night Raw. At which point, before The Rock can say something else, now Seth Rollins jumps into the equation. He's been referenced a few times. Rock's called him a clown emoji, told him to shut up before he even started talking. And Seth tells him to shut up. For the first time in your career, shut up. Seth says the future of the industry is on the line. Listen up, Mr. Midlife Crisis. You want the answer to your challenge? We accept. And at which point, Roman decides he wants to start laughing and questions Cody and goes, Cody, you're going to let him make decisions for you. You're dumber than I thought you were. You're going to let him dictate your future, dictate how your WrestleMania goes. And at which point, The Rock then turns around and gets fired up because he's talking about family. He's talking about why he does the things that he does. He says he's on the board of TKO, which means he owns part of the WWE. He's his boss. He's Seth's boss. He'll make Seth's title go away. Kind of regurgitate some of the stuff he's already said. But he does say this. If Cody doesn't win, and this is a new stipulation now, so here we go. If Cody does not win on night 2, he will never get another shot at the Undisputed Universal Championship. And then The Rock starts talking about Cody's family. And he talks about Cody's sister, and he talks about Dustin Rhodes. He's calling Dustin a Hall of Famer, and then I'm ending at a future Hall of Famer, which could we be seeing a Gold Dust Hall of Fame induction soon? He calls Cody a mistake because there's a 20-year gap between his sister and Dustin and Cody. Calls him a mistake. And at which point, Cody slaps The Rock. Now, mind you, when he says you're a mistake, title card comes up in the bottom left. Cody slaps The Rock, and then they go to black, it was a great way to cap the show leading into, we're 4 weeks away from WrestleMania. We now have our main event set. We now know the direction of arguably the biggest storyline in WWE right now. Granted, we knew it was coming because of all the promotional stuff that had come out. The teaser that had come out, having all 4 of them there in a tag team standoff, but to see it all play out. And now it begs the question: are Roman and The Rock going to lose? They keep talking about family. Rock's doing this all for family, and it's the things you do for family. And Roman always kind of looks at him a little bit weird when he does it. So what? Is The Rock going to turn on Roman? Because we have to set up Rock versus Roman. Or does Roman take the pinfall Saturday night and on Sunday? And The Rock goes, I thought you were supposed to be the tribal chief. You're supposed to be greatness. What happened? Or The Rock takes the fall on Saturday. Roman loses Sunday. Roman blames The Rock because The Rock's the one that got pinned. The Rock blames Roman because you couldn't do it without help. And that builds for 41. Because that match is a WrestleMania match, no matter which way you slice it. Other highlights from the show. We had, in the opening segment, Logan Paul coming out. And now Prime will be a mid-ring sponsor for all PLEs. That led to him bringing in KSI, which led to Randy Orton coming out. Randy Orton comes out from underneath the ring. Goes to give Logan an RKO. Logan gets out of it. Ends up RKOing KSI. And props to KSI. Takes a beautiful RKO. Orton drags him to the center of the ring. Pours a bottle of Prime over him. Tiffany Stratton defeated Michin. We saw a promo from Bayley. We also saw a promo from Damage Control. Leading to a match between Dakota Kai and Bayley following last week where Dakota bailed on Bayley during the tag team match. And realigned herself with Damage Control. We also saw Kevin Owens teaming up with Randy Orton to take on Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. We saw Dragon Lee take on Angel. and with Santos and Humberto at ringside. B-Fab ended up coming out. I'm sorry. That's a totally different faction. So many faction things happened tonight. It was good because now you start seeing the WrestleMania matches starting to set up. So we know we're going to see some combination of the LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. We know that we're going to see some form of the final testament in Karrion, Kross, and AOP, and maybe even Scarlett versus Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, and B-Fab. Because Bobby and Karrion had a match. AOP ends up getting involved. The Street Profits come down. It's a big beatdown, and the final testament stands tall. There were a lot of moments, though, tonight where some of the wrestling looked a little sloppy, and I don't know if there's excitement, because when people do get excited, you start to see people slip up a little bit more. I don't know if it was that. I don't know what, but there were a couple moments throughout the night where I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Social media is just flying off when it comes to this moment right here. If my stuff wants to reload. Triple H has already tweeted it out. The biggest tag team match ever. The Rock and Roman versus Cody and Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. Some of the latest stuff when you look up WrestleMania. Who's going to win? After all the conditions, I have no idea what direction they'll go in. One will turn on his partner. That's an interesting conversation starter as well. Does Seth turn on Cody at some point? That I don't see very likely, but I do see maybe the Rock or Roman turning on each other. I mean, it just everybody popping off about this. Trying to see if I can find somebody. Cody Rhodes tweeting out a gif of the Rick James slap from Dave Chappelle show. That's for Pharaoh and thinking every night is open mic night. Call back to her moment in AEW. Let's see. WWE on Fox retweeting the moment of Rock calling Cody a mistake. Sean Sapp, you're 20 years younger than your siblings because you're a mistake. A lot of people are taking that piece right there. Apparently, they're only 3 years apart. His sister says, we're 3 years apart. Interesting. The main event segment got cut off at The Rock's last line in a lot of markets. Oh, okay. So in a lot of markets, that the slap and the mistake line never make air. I'm reading this right now. This is Sean Ross Sapp on Fightful.com. Also, the entrances will be the opening match. That's incredible. Let's see what else. Pat McAfee retweeting something from The Rock from earlier today. What I get, there was another segment that I'm missing. Here we go. Here's WWE's Twitter. No, that's Street Fighter's Twitter. Here's WWE's Twitter. Slap for a slap. Oh, AJ Styles had a promo. Yes. AJ Styles had a promo. They cut, it's a vignette. They cut to LA Knight, who's sitting watching it, and LA Knight destroys the TV, saying, AJ, I hope you have balls to show up next week. So they're building for AJ versus LA Knight. Logan versus Randy. Like I already mentioned, Final Testament versus Bobby Lashley and his crew. LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. WrestleMania is shaping up. We're 4 weeks away. We have a lot to talk about on the next in this very rings. Big shout out to Pete and Butters. Both of them have prior obligations. Pete is not feeling well. We send Pete best wishes and we wish him a speedy recovery. Butters is hitting that Comic-Con scene. He's got some conventions this weekend. But I wanted to jump on here, break down Smackdown. There are still some wrestlers that don't have a path to Philadelphia. Kevin Owens, Tiffany Stratton, at least that were on tonight's program. Bianca Belair, Naomi, they were both seen watching the Bayley segment. So could this turn into having Bianca and Bayley at ringside? Do we see Jade get ready for WrestleMania? A lot still to come. But want to drop in here, show you guys some love, break down Smackdown. Till next time, we want to thank Allenby Travel for sponsoring the Smackdown recap. I'm Ritz. We'll see you all next week. Peace, love, and joy. We're out of here.